Well, I'm Steve Cassano, State Senator from the 4th District, and I want to welcome you to another version of Focus on the 4th. Today is a very, very different day for us. We're out at the Channel 3 Kids Camp. I'm meeting with two people who are in the middle of a program working with those with disabilities. This is something that's made a difference to me in my lifetime. I have a younger brother, that was born with spinal bifida. And I can't tell you how many years of struggle between the VA hospital and the Shriners Hospital and the state hospitals, and how difficult it was to grow up, to socialize, to meet people, and so on. So I have two special guests today, Marty Zog and Amy Blazowski. They work here in a very special program dealing with those with disabilities. And who wants to start?
Well, I'll start. Again, we are with Developmental Services, Department of Developmental Services, State of Connecticut. And, of course, the department is charged with providing services to people with disabilities throughout the state. Amy and I both work in the North region, and we both work in the Self-Determination Unit, which is charged with helping people become better advocates in their lives and determine their own futures.
And basically, the whole idea behind that new mission and vision is the person in their community. So what better way to kind of exemplify that than to have the community come together with all of their resources, invite parents, families, individuals to check out the resources in their towns. We have a variety of towns that are going to be presenting here today. We have everything from employment resources to respite, estate planning. Marty did a fantastic job of kind of corralling a lot of the providers that we're going to be seeing here today. Mm-hmm. And we hope that a lot of families are able to access it. And a big thank you to Channel 3 Kids Camp. It's a beautiful location, mm-hmm. So we're very happy that they extended to us.
We in the Self-Determination Unit, we're always looking for better ways and better avenues to help individuals become advocates for themselves, to put themselves in a position to determine a better path for themselves. So with that in mind, and the community of practice that Amy had mentioned, we are looking to pull the community in to provide services and ideas and support that normally would have been looked upon just by the state, just by the Department of Developmental Services or other agencies. So we're looking to pull in civic organizations, we're looking to pull in religious organizations, or just the individual that runs the general store down the road. Everybody to get involved in helping the individuals we serve become better community members.
I think it's terrific. Reminds me, we do every year or two, we do senior fairs, and seniors from around the region, the district, come in, and all the providers are there and so on. And I think you're doing that same thing. And I can tell you, I know from the seniors' point of view how valuable that is. It's got to be even more valuable in this situation because they don't have the access to transportation, to resources and so on that many of the seniors do have. And so I think this is incredibly important. I'm excited that you're doing this. If you were to identify the three most difficult issues, what would they be?
I would say right off the bat, and you mentioned it, transportation. Respite is also a big issue and problem for people that are residing at home with their families. People need a break, and it's, we're looking toward community and natural supports in so many ways due to lack of funding or what have you. So we're really trying to connect community and connect families to develop people's circles.
And what about employment?
Employment is a key part of self-determination, as I'm sure anybody listening to this and we can all attest to. Even at our earliest age, when we became employed, we felt freer in our surroundings. We felt we felt we had a better handle on determining our own future.
And that
So-
goes right along with our transition issues and the supports that are here today.
I personally am charged with the employment piece of that, helping individuals gain employment, and not just a job that they can go to tomorrow, but
A real job.
employment that they can count on for a long term as a career.
We really need to break out of the agency kind of mentality and rely on local businesses and corporations to really understand the benefits of hiring someone with a disability. They are loyal employees. We have many pieces of literature and video to show chambers of commerce to say, this is what we need to look at. This is what people need to understand. And there's many federal incentives that go along with that as well.
I want you to continue along this line. For most people who live out in our neighborhoods, who own businesses, who run businesses and so on, when it comes to thinking of hiring for jobs, the last thing they think is somebody with a disability.
Right.
I work closely with Mark Inc.
Mark,
If you know
yes.
Mark Inc. in Manchester, where there are literally hundreds of people with disabilities working, and their employers love them. They are faithful, they're on time, they do what they're supposed to do, they do what they're trained to do, but most important, they have the capability of doing a job, and we seem to overlook that. So what's your message to the guy out there that's hiring? How do we get that guy to get in touch with you and say, look, I need somebody to do this, can they do it?
I appreciate you saying what you said, and if we had rehearsed this beforehand and we didn't, that's exactly what I would have hoped you would say. And I think you say it because you know it to be true. The folks with disabilities that do gain employment are dedicated employees, and they are loyal, and they're punctual, and they really appreciate their positions, largely because I suspect it has been so difficult for them to get to that position. So that would be the message to employers. Look at this population like you never have before, because it is a population that not only will appreciate a good job, but will make you shine, basically, as an employer. It'll make you shine, it'll make your business grow. And
There's profit. There's profit in it.
Yeah.
There really is.
And great relationships, too. You know,
Yep.
they're just
Well, let me
great
tell you the
individuals.
funniest part of this is that I have been to more than 70 small businesses now in the 4 years that I've been in the Senate. And the one thing I keep hearing is we can't find qualified help. We can't find people. We got an unemployment rate of 9 to 10% for a couple of years, and people tell me they couldn't find people to work. How do we find these people? How do you know, who do they contact to get you guys?
Great opportunity to do a little plug here.
Absolutely, that's what I'm looking for.
On October 8th from 9:30 to 12:30, we are inviting employers, businesses, corporations to come together at the East Hartford Cultural Community Center, and we will have a variety of speakers and doing just that, expressing why it is so important to hire someone with a disability.
Right, and these speakers, if I may interject, several of them are business owners and business managers that now successfully hire people with disabilities and have stories to tell and have reasons to give as to why others in the room, in the community, should also hire people with disabilities.
And if you're one of those out there that owns a business, my favorite story in this whole area is Walgreens, when it came to Connecticut, insisted that 50% plus one of all of the employees in their distribution center be people with disabilities. And it runs like a charm.
It sure does.
They
It
work
sure does.
exceptionally well. It is one of the happiest work atmospheres I think I've ever experienced. If they can do the entire distribution of the Northeast with 50% of the population with disabilities, then we should be giving them a shot at our local businesses.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. And that's not just the distribution center at Walgreens that you mentioned. They also
Retail
have that
stores.
same conviction with retail stores.
And he has a child with a disability, and he's committed. I think that's just, that's a great story.
They take it very seriously, and they provide the right kind of training. They have industry training programs that the Department of Developmental Services contracts with an agency so that individuals can have the proper amount of time to actually learn about the job and actually practice it.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you taking the time. I've enjoyed talking with you. Obviously, it means a lot to both of you, and I know it means a lot to me. Let's hope that something comes out of this and out of the meeting in East Hartford. I hope you'll be in touch with the chambers, and
Absolutely.
and I will talk to the chambers as well.
Absolutely.
I can tell you that. I
Thank
promise
you.
you that. And let's see what we can do.
Excellent. Thank you, Senator.
Thanks.
Thank you, Senator.
It's a pleasure. Well, we're back. Steve Cassano, State Senator from the 4th District, and I have with me today Denise Hornbecker. We talked earlier about programs for disabilities, for many of those that are at the camp today for a special session. Denise, you run the camp. You've been doing this for a while. You and I go back to the MCC days.
We certainly do.
Which was only just a few years ago. We were teacher and student. What you've done with this camp in the last couple of years is phenomenal. The growth has been tremendous. I have had the real opportunity. When I was mayor, I created a foundation, the Mayor's Foundation for Manchester Children. And we have grown the foundation, and each year we've sent kids to camp experiences. And working with Savings Bank of Manchester Foundation, we now both put in $10,000, and so $20,000 is dedicated to summer camperships. And we have, this year again, more than 50 came from Manchester, and it's ironic that I think tonight or tomorrow night is they have their end of the year get together, and they all write thank you letters and everything else. And my favorite is, dear you, thanks.
Sounds like a camper.
Every time we meet, I bring that card out because it reminds us of what we're doing, because this was one of the young ones. It's an exciting experience. So it's an oasis in the middle of the region, sitting here like this. Tell us about the camp, and tell us what you are doing with it.
Well, as you know, Senator, we've been here for 104 years, and it was started really with 20 children that came from the inner city, that they had a summer to come to someone's house and to experience all that's here. We're located right on the Scottamaug River, so that was quite the experience for many children who have grown up in the city. And now we've expanded thanks to a recent bonding grant from the state. We have just redone one of our buildings so that it's totally accessible and also winterized for year-round programming that we do out here. And we put up Ashley's Place through a gift from the Ashway Foundation, Hartford Foundation for Public Giving, the Pettit Foundation. There were many people that became involved with that project, and for the first time in our history, we had children with special needs here at the camp this year, and it was wonderful. Children don't see disabilities in one another; they see friends who need help,
Sure.
and it was just a really wonderful experience.
Yeah, that's great. And I have to tell you about another grant. It's interesting. When I was first elected and Andover was in my district, I got a call from Bob Burbank, the first selectman. He said, I need a steep grant, fast, he says, because Channel 3's got to open next year, and the bridge going out there is in trouble. He says, and if we don't get that bridge fixed, they're not going to open the camp. So I called Governor Malloy, and he issued one steep grant, and that was it, before he did any others, so he could get the work started on the bridge so people could come in here safely. But I'll never forget that phone call, because you just don't connect those kinds of things together. And so I got to say, he was on the ball on that one, and it was, and as a result, we did get the bridge fixed quickly, and the camp opened the next year. But it's something that, people, if they could see it and understand how good it is and what it does, people would support it. And that's what we need, is for people to do what we're doing with the foundation, to do themselves, to provide these kind of camping opportunities. I know from the letters that we're going to get next week from the kids who are here, they will describe what it's like to be here for a week. First time they've been away from home in many cases. The whole idea of sleeping outside for some of them. The river, they love the river, they love the experiences, and they talk about their friends, my new friends, and that's what it's all about. Most of us have had that opportunity ourselves as kids. You know, if we grew up in, quote, normal families, you know, we all went to camp. Well, the kids in the poor families never went to camp. And you guys have addressed that beautifully.
And you know, it's working families now. It's not just, you know, what we typically had served in our populations. As you know, many families are struggling today.
Sure.
Mom and dad are both working, and yet they're still struggling to make ends meet. And, you know, many single parents who are providing for their children the very best that they can, but this is a luxury, this is an extra. And really our intent here is to be a year-round resource for families, so that we're having respite weekends. You know, everybody needs a break. You know, a single mom raising children by herself, she's working all week. What a great thing to have a weekend to be able to say, you know what, my kid is going to have a great time and I'm going to get a break. And we're working with organizations, we're working with cities, we're working with police departments to be sure that we're taking kids that might be at risk for going down the wrong path and hopefully steering them back in the right direction, so that they don't wind up to be, you know, part of our judicial system later in
Sure.
in a way that we don't want to see them.
It's the wrong way to spend money.
Exactly. So, you know, this is an investment in the future of children, which to me is our most precious resource in the state of Connecticut.
So tell me a little about the winterized building. Last time I was in, it was pretty much done. They were starting to move furniture in and so on.
Yes, they
what
were.
What do you expect that it's going to do with that building complete now? It's beautiful what they've done there.
It is. We have two beautiful buildings at the top of our hill now, both of them totally accessible. We will have Nature's Classroom here all season long, so school children coming in on Monday, and they stay until Friday afternoon, and they're doing environmental sciences, really hand-on, learning about our environment, nature, protecting our resources. They put a little art in there, a little science, a little music. It's a great opportunity for kids to bond together, to work together, and to learn more about really taking care of our land that we have and the resources that we have. Then the weekend programs throughout the year, again, working with our at-risk teens, our youth, our counselors in training that kind of work with us all throughout the year to help us come summertime. We're going to be doing a preschool program here where in fact, we're having our state visit tomorrow for 30 children. We'd like to open for a preschool
great.
program that'll run year-round, so that'll be continuity for young children and for, again, working families, an affordable place to have their children while they're at work.
Well, the most important question, if I'm a parent out there and I'm watching this interview and I want to get my child involved, how do I do it? Who do I call? How do I go about it?
You can call us right here at the camp. It's 860-742-2267, and we answer the phone here. It's not automated, so you just ask your question and we'll put you into the right department and get you registered and working with a great team of people here.
All right, we'll run that phone number along the bottom, but why don't you do it one more time and so that people know, and pick up the phone. Here's an opportunity for your children that you shouldn't miss.
860-742-2267.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Been great to see you again.
Nice to see you too.